Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a new episode of Flesh Wound Farce, where we review and discuss your and our favorite comedy films. This is the world's first and only combination trivia host and professional wrestling announcer of Chilean descent that currently resides in Southern California, Ozzy V. And with me, as always, on this program, first in the Northern California Bay Area, world-famous juggler Greg Larson. How you doing, Greg?
Doing all right. How about yourself, Ozzy?
I'm okay.
Oh,
Also with us, ladies and gentlemen, Flesh Wound producer Todd. How you doing, Todd?
I am chilling.
All right, cool. So this week we're reviewing and discussing the film Sacramento that was rated R, released this year, April 10th, 2025, with a runtime of 89 minutes. Todd, do you have a trailer available?
100%. I saw this in the theaters too.
Okay, glad
Anger is
you
just
did.
sadness with nowhere to go.
Ricky, I don't have the authority to kick you out of group, but you need to stop coming to group.
Where do I go?
Ricky's here.
Bring him in.
I'm phasing him out.
Why?
He's a grown man who hides in trees. Sorry. Give me your money! No call, no text, just trespassing.
Well, let me come say hi to Rosie.
No, she's taking a dump. I'm getting lunch.
You all right, man? You're just all out of whack right now. You're all like pent up.
No, I'm good. Not crazy about that.
Why did you do that?
There was a crick.
We're growing apart. Can we just drive around and have fun for 15 minutes? Want to go to Sacramento?
Unplanned, long drive to a city I have no desire to be in. Sounds fun.
My dad died. Got to scatter his ashes.
This is the perfect opportunity for you to reconnect.
Sounds like you're gonna miss me.
That's your dad. He's going away for the weekend. We get to do whatever we want.
Sacramento!
There was some morally ambiguous behavior last night.
How long you been married?
4 happy years. I'm not saying we have this sexual energy.
Oh, we don't.
You sound hungover.
3 Budweisers and 2 tequila shots. I'm only a man.
I didn't know what I wanted, but I think I do now.
Who's that?
What is this? Are you visiting?
I don't love the bangs.
To your pop.
Then to us. Fare thee well, Pop. Breakfast?
You're going through something. You need my help.
What you're doing right now is textbook projecting.
I'm very angry.
That's called misplaced anger.
No, stop. Out. Glenn.
I think you're having a panic attack, Glenn.
I'm scared. Really scared.
Life is crazy and there's a lot you can't control.
But
But what?
I thought you were heading towards saying something reassuring.
Yeah, me too.
Let's set some ground rules. No kissing. Definitely no sex.
Did you just wink at me?
No.
Well, I guess we need a new host. Ozzy doesn't like it when opinions vary from his.
they dared him, so I think that is why he did walk out in disappointment. So
You just couldn't hear the praise anymore.
yeah,
So, Ozzy, I think you might have a differing opinion than most critics and people I know in general. This is not the one I expected this on.
Let me just finish off by saying this was directed by Michael Angarano and also written by Chris Smith, starring Michael Cera, Kristen Stewart, Michael Angarano, the guy who wrote and directed the movie, and Maya Erskine. Does this guy know somebody, or is this guy somebody's kid? Because okay, here's the thing where it really piqued me and pissed me off with this movie, and just kind of felt like, I don't know, a little bit of a vanity project when you have a female wrestler, who that was, pretended to be somebody who just can't wait to jump on you, and you're the one that, hey, can we not do this tonight? Like, it just felt like, what is it? Just
But you find out why he didn't want to.
No,
later,
listen. I need to share a story. A long time ago, I took part in an independent film that was actually never finished. And I think one of the reasons it was never finished is because the scene that needed to be filmed was already filmed and already done. So there was no need to work on that anymore or work on the rest of the movie. Who cares about that? The scene that I'm describing is where I played an individual who was in somebody's head, but I was still physically present in the room as he's all of a sudden murdering other people in the room, and I'm the evil voice. And then it gets to this the last person in the room is a woman, and before he shoots her, he kisses her. And this was a married man who wrote and directed and starred in this movie, while his wife is in the next room prepping makeup. And we're filming this scene multiple times of him intensely making out with this female actress. And there was at one point, and I was the only one alive in this scene, and I have to watch him do this multiple times. And there was after one take where he says, okay, let's do it one more time. And I hear the wife slam the door to the room where she was. I've never felt more awkward in my life. And there was just a tiny hint of that, of her being very interested in him and him just saying, I'm not interested. There's some weird stuff going on there. That's the only thing I pointed out. Way too much praise for this movie. I dare you to walk out of this movie disappointed. I walked out of the trailer disappointed. This is not a comedy by any sense. It's one of those, it attempts to be a comedy. There's some lighthearted jokes, but it's flat. It's like flat soda. That's exactly like if somebody gave me a flat soda. This is exactly, this is a comedy. It's a flat comedy. The funniest thing happened.
I don't understand how people like Pepsi, so it's the same thing. Some people have different tastes.
This was the quintessential opposite of my taste, I guess. And here's the thing:
it's awkward comedy.
Reviews because what's that? What's
awkward comedy.
It's
anxiety. I think the anxiety-ridden Superbad for millennials is the perfect description of this movie.
Maybe that's why I hate it so much. I don't know. It did not hit right with me at all. And then towards the end, I don't know if this is a spoiler thing. Can we talk about the ending a little bit? Do I have do we need to put up a spoiler alert thing? Should we talk about that?
I don't know.
Because that's another thing that I'm just I mean, come on, just give us what can I say this? Is that okay? Can I just, I
don't know how much, I don't know which part you're trying to say that.
Okay, then you know what? We'll do this. We'll go through the rest of this episode, and at the end we can have the spoiler alert, and then I could go into that rant. Holy Toledo! So those are my initial thoughts. Who wants to go next?
Well, I mean, I saw the trailer and I was like, okay, this feels like a very dry comedy, but I love a good dry comedy. So I thought this was one of the funniest movies I've seen in a while. And I thought it was there was a lot of heart. I was very surprised with what we got out of this. So the adventure of it all, and plus that drive down the 5, let me tell you, I've done that a few times. So I know some of those signs myself. I was very excited to go on this ride with them, and I think there's a connection that people can have with this, and maybe some, people maybe not acknowledging some of the things they've gone through while judging others. Of words. So fair. But yeah, no, this I don't understand you, Ozzy, on this one. This one was hilarious. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on it.
This is the second time I've seen it. So, I'm with Greg. I like awkward comedy. I like, you can feel like it doesn't hurt that I've also have a friend I've grown past and tried to phase out. So I get that part of it coming from Michael Cera. But no, yeah, it's a road picture. It's funny. I can see why Ozzy. I know I don't see. I thought you'd at least have some fun. It is just, I don't know. Do you like any awkward anxiety ridden comedies?
I'm not sure how much of that was that and how much of it was how much I did not care for anybody in this movie. Like just the way their personalities. I
Yeah,
didn't
that's what makes it awkward, though.
No, but I mean like but just it's like being in a room with people that you don't want to hang out with.
Which makes sense because you have a low tolerance with that.
I do, because it's just not fun. It's I mean like okay, people like horror movies.
But see,
Cool. Like, well, I mean, just point they like feeling that anxiety, I guess, and then feeling the relief when they leave the theater. I don't know. I've never understood it.
but here
go
I
ahead.
do want to throw this out. But
Okay.
here's one thing I do enjoy. When
Okay.
Ozzy gets stuck with someone he doesn't like and he has to be, I just love watching Ozzy have to deal with it. And that's what this movie is. It's like having to watch someone deal with someone they don't want to deal with. So I think I would have had pure enjoyment watching you watch this movie.
I think maybe just in my past experiences, because I'm not trying to initiate some sort of pissing contest in terms of like, oh, I've dealt with some really annoying people or whatever. But in terms of, I mean, the two of you guys here have seen me in two very different worlds, right? Todd, you've seen me in this wrestling aspect world, and there's that. Greg, you've seen me in the Disney world where I've been that lead as what was known as Character 10, which would be responsible for filling all the roles in the character department throughout both parks and the hotels. And you know the kind of people I had to deal with sometimes and just had to just be like, okay, cool. So I think you take that and you take the other side and you combine it with some more awkward trivia stuff of stuff I'm not going to get into right now. And you put this like giant ball of experience and you have that experience and you watch this movie with that experience in your head. It's like nails on a chalkboard. It's just, and oh my God,
I think I figured out what would have made this movie like an instant classic if Ozzy was in the backseat with him the whole time through this experience, just reacting and being Ozzy.
Oh, this. I mean, if there's a list of movies we would need to have a watch along for, this would be it. I mean, look, we'll get into our favorite moments. You guys can go. I unfortunately have nothing written down for favorite moments because I had nothing in the movie that made me think, hey, that's funny. Nothing. Not one thing. Go ahead. Who wants to go first?
Hate to admit this, but I really said it was the funniest movie I've seen in a long time just to agitate Ozzy. I agree with you, actually.
Yes, yes, yes.
I enjoyed the movie. So that's one thing.
I'm sweating.
I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, but I did not find much humor in it. Like, I did feel the awkwardness. I just didn't feel. I thought it was very good for building the story, and I appreciated that for what it was. But I didn't find funny moments in this. Like, there were little bits like when they wrestled, or like, you know, that was kind of humorous for me. But a lot of it, I think because it was on such a serious topic of people not dealing with their anxieties and their stresses, and, you know, the growth that it was, and plus the soundtrack on it set a more somber tone, which is to build that anxiety, which was brilliant. And again, this isn't a knock on the film because I thought it was fun, but the idea that this was funny isn't something I really can get on board with.
It's I will say it's hard to pick out a moment because it is just a vibe and a mood the whole movie.
Right.
But there was one spot at the very beginning when he shows up at his house that just got me a good laugh. And when he's like trying to get him to do something and he's like, lunch at noon? Like, that's the most absurd thing he's ever heard.
Yeah.
That gives me a good laugh. But yeah, just the whole delivery of that. So that's my favorite.
I just want to applaud Greg for having a more accurate description of like what you were saying. I think calmly described some flaws within this movie. And I guess I should have prefaced everything by saying if this movie was marketed as just a drama with funny moments and not like all the quotes you saw in that trailer, it might have hit differently with me because I went in with a different mindset, right? I read the synopsis, right? And I went in with an open mind, but just when stuff just wasn't being funny and that character is just more of the kind of character I want to punch in the face rather than want to hang out with, especially okay, maybe this is another thing for the spoilers. So I'll just hold on to that because
Which
I
of
didn't
the two characters do you not want to hang out with, by the way?
I don't even remember their names. Like
Michael Cera's character or the other?
the other one.
Okay.
The other
Well,
because
there's a reason Michael Cera
mean-
didn't want to hang out with him. But then you look at even like you get, it's like the whole vibe thing. Even Kristen Stewart's character is just like so. I mean, not that she's ever really, but she's just so flat and just her delivery and everything.
Boring.
But see, that other character, I personally think is that great person to have, because we do sometimes in our adult life get too wound up like Michael Cera's character was, and I think that was the big part of this film is like sometimes like not being so anxiety ridden and like stressed out, like sometimes just letting go and like letting things be like is something to remember from time to time. Not always be the case, but I do think his character was actually, it's Michael Cera's character that I was like, I would not want to be around you. Like, you are no fun, bro.
Okay, so let's look at Beverly Hills Cop real quick.
Yeah.
You have Judge Reinhold's character who's kind of like the goof, right?
Right.
And it's like kind of that character development that's similar to Michael Cera's character, but there's ways to like, I guess, go around it, or I guess, I don't know, anxiety-ridden 30-year-olds, maybe there's not a way another way rather to go about it. This was just Michael Cera playing the character he always plays for the most part, and this other guy, which, so when I ask people about Curb Your Enthusiasm, there's a small percentage of people who'd be like, I absolutely hate Larry David. I don't know why anybody wants to watch that show. They'll say, I can't stand the guy. That's how I feel about this guy. And knowing in the back of my head that he wrote and directed the movie is more like, oh, this is someone who I can direct my anger towards, right?
I think your anger towards him is because he did not take up that chance with AJ Mendez. I think there's a why would you not
it's more kind of like, oh, screw
Punk
you.
must have been slamming doors in the background.
There's a director's cut that definitely should have been done.
But it kind of like it maybe it was a little much to it's like, then just get some other actress. Why do you got to make her go through that? Or unless like she knew somebody, or maybe this guy knows people, and like the people that reviewed this thing and gave all those glowing
to be fair, when it comes to indie films, I take light what the reviewers say, because there's a certain section in the indie community they just
then let's
they over reviews. Everything's the greatest thing ever because they know they're going to get their quote in the trailer.
So let's
hilarious being put on there. Hilarious.
Like I said, the one quote that I think is perfect is the super bad anxiety, millennial.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's the one that sold me, because all the hilarious stuff and all that stuff I know is just you get a little money in your pocket and you get a great review. So I
Okay, so let's get in the ratings so I could spoil some stuff.
All right, that's ratings, and then we'll hit the spoiler warning.
So rating for me, I'm gonna put this as an NR because it's not a comedy. So
what
it's
about
not
as
rated.
a movie? Because
as a movie, if I had to go let me in my head travel back in time and tell myself I'm not reviewing this for Flesh Wound Farce. I'm reviewing this for Flesh Wound Feelings. Flesh Wound Feelings, because that's what it's more appropriate, and I would have to view this as a drama. So if I viewed this as a drama, I would say, well, I was annoyed with one of the characters. I understand the progression of it, but at the same time, still, see, I'd be going into spoilers. It's more like there's more the further I go within the movie, the more reason I find to to hate the other guy. I can't, whatever his name was, the writer and the director. Like I just didn't care. So even if it was like a regular movie, I still just, there's nothing that compels me to want to watch. Continue, even as a regular movie. And that's me. That's what we got here from me. So that's why I have it as an NR, is because I don't see it as a comedy, and we are a comedy reviewing podcast. So I can't review this as a comedy. So Greg, if I had to review it as a drama, maybe like 2.5, 3, maybe. I don't know. There was some stuff that happened, spoiler wise, that just were like, what? No, what? Why? So that's why I would give it a 2 or 2.5 if I reviewed it as a drama. But as a comedy, NR. Who wants to go next?
Yeah, I want to vote for us having flesh wound feelings so that we can.
That's not the first.
Be like, what the hell?
That's not the first time that's came up. That may happen.
Let's no, please no.
No, we discussed it. Yes. No, we've already discussed this. That was for Chasing Amy.
Oh God.
How dare?
Because I still think that can qualify as comedy, but Ozzy, his feelings get in the way. So flesh wound feelings, Chasing Amy coming soon.
Oh man. Stupid. Okay.
Can we get that Firefly Funhouse song for the intro? But ratings wise for me, like I sadly have to, like, if I were to try to grade this as a comedy, like it would be like a 1. I did not find this super hilarious. Like I did find the humor in the situation, but I did not find it funny. But as a movie, I did thoroughly enjoy it. And I think that mental health and how we deal with things is a very serious topic. And I do think that they did it in a awkward and fun way. And dealing with growth and trying to, push through things. It was a fun movie. And so I still would give it probably a 3.5, somewhere within there. For how much I did enjoy it as a movie, but I sadly do have to agree with Ozzy that as a comedy, it falls very flat.
Todd?
Yeah, if you're going in for laughs, that's not this type of movie.
Mm-hmm.
It has, like I said, it has a vibe, it has a feeling. This is the second time I saw it. I've enjoyed it both times. I don't really remember what I rated it the first time. But I think it was a 4. And again, not as just a comedy, but just as a film, I did enjoy it. I like the awkwardness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stick with the 4.
Okay. So you'd mentioned, how do I do with like these awkward comedies, right? Can you list any others?
Off the top of my head, I can't.
Yeah. Okay.
I know them when I see them. While we get, do you want to get into spoilers and I'll try to.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we'll go into spoilers right now, and then I could really hit the final blows and put this.
All right.
Okay.
If you don't want to get spoiled, here's your warning. No, you drinking? You got booze in there now?
Okay.
Which part? Oh, you're ready.
Okay, you get trash to represent your father's ashes, and like I like that. One of the things that made me like, oh, go fuck your, like, okay, so we got to edit that. I'm sorry. One of the things I hated is just watching, like, pull that was just like, man, this guy was pulled away from his wife who's pregnant, like, and these are the kind of games this guy's playing. Whatever. Then the car gets towed purposely, right? And the stealing of the baby, and word to the wise, I don't know if this needs to be said in a master class. If you are going to have a comedy, make sure that someone stealing a baby is not in the movie, because that's not really funny. I didn't find it funny. That seemed like that was built to be the peak of the movie, like the main climax, right? And it was a mom going crazy because somebody just stole her kid. that's one of the things that made me not want to give this a rating as a comedy, because that is the complete opposite of funny. So there was my beef with the ending and why we obviously needed the spoiler alert.
Yeah, and I don't think that was meant as a peak for comedy. I think, like, for me, that felt like his breaking point of when, like, he had to start acknowledging, the stress he was putting himself through and what he was dealing with, and the judgment of people who might not seem like they got it together, but they kind of had it together more than he did, because they're at least honest with who they are and where they're at, and they're going with that.
I get that. Maybe as I'm watching it, we agree that the film is building up to this moment, at least for the character to reach his breaking point. So in a comedy, that's what everything's building up to.
Right.
Chevy Chase in National Lampoon's Vacation, when the car stops and he goes his thing, that's him, like, he can't take it anymore. And in a comedy, that's supposed to be funny. When somebody can't take it anymore and you're not laughing, it's sad.
Yeah,
and
because
it kills it.
His stress was humorous throughout the film, and he was, like, being light with it. Michael Cera's portrayal of his stress and anxiety never at one point in time read as funny. It read as, this poor bastard, you know.
And you felt for him more, like,
Yeah.
it's like, damn, why does this keep happening to you? Or it's like, relax, man. So those are my things. Todd, did you have a chance to find any other
Yeah, the examples weren't that great, because they're more just kind of on the, like, analyze this, Down and Out in Beverly Hills. They're not really what I'd consider anxiety comedy movies.
Okay, well, analyze this with Billy Crystal, Robert De Niro, right?
Yeah, he's like this. They give example, because it even says super bad. These are just movies that have a character with some anxiety.
Oh, right, okay.
Mine is something like Eighth Grade, which is listed, I would fall in that. Beau is Afraid is a perfect one.
I don't think I've ever seen
Yeah, that's the one with Joaquin Phoenix, 2023. It's an A24 film. You wouldn't consider it a comedy by any stretch of the word, but it is anxiety on film. And Punch Drunk Love's another listed one, which, yeah, I can, but there's still laughs in that, I think. But I think that's more of a dramedy than anything.
What about The Big Sick? And I thought that was a wonderful film.
I have not got to that one yet. I know that's one we want to do in the future, so I haven't. Oh, well, sorry. Maybe I was going on The Big Sick.
Go on.
Those are the big ones. Like, there's some other stuff I'm not aware of, but, like, some of them, like Down and Out in Beverly Hills and Night Shift. Yeah, they got a character that has a little bit of anxiety.
Gotcha.
So real quick, just your reaction. Have you seen The Big Sick or not?
I have not even heard of it.
Oh,
okay. It's been on this.
You would enjoy it.
Hold on.
That's it.
Whoops.
Well, so can I pull the spoiler warning now?
Yes, you can pull the spoiler warning.
All right. You're looking up The Big Sick right now?
Yes.
Does your mouse work?
Yes, it does. Let's see.
Well, it sounds like Ozzy's thrilled. Well, don't worry. I think we've got to.
Well, we'll see. If it's requested, I say go for it.
Well, Greg doesn't request much.
No. I mean, like, okay, fine.
There you go.
Wait. That's gonna be my request. I didn't say that was my request.
Yeah. Do you want to go through with that? I was meaning to say if it's requested by.
Well, now that they see you don't want to watch it, Ozzy, you know they're going to request it. But I think
people speak.
I really do think you should tell them finally what we're getting next week. The Versus one.
Okay, next week, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to check out the newest episode of Flesh Wound Fist. Will be airing next week, as in preparation for James Gunn's Superman film coming out on July 11th. We will be reviewing and discussing.
You know what?
Not only one, but two movies. Sorry, in one episode.
I meant that they can check out from last week.
What?
Yeah, this
Now
is
I'm
airing
confused.
after. I know. So I'm just going to cut that. And we're going to just do a retake. Tell him, in case you missed it, last week we did the Superman verse. The epic episode you should watch. So I'm going to cut all this I just said. And
Okay, got it.
so Ozzy, why don't you tell us what, if they didn't watch last week's Fist, what they missed?
If you did miss last week's Flesh Wound Fist, you've got to check it out. It is not only one movie, but two we are reviewing, of course, in preparation or in celebration, you could say, of James Gunn's release of Superman on July 11th. We did review and discuss Superman 3 and Superman 4 in one episode. Todd versus Ozzy. Which one is better? Greg might decide. But I will not change my mind, or will I? You got to see the episode to find out, because I'm not going to tell you what happened. All right, so you guys have anything else before we head out for the evening?
No.
I got to say, if you are in the Orange County area this week, I'll be hosting trivia at the Rush Bar and Grill in Lake Forest, beginning at 7 o'clock, and this Wednesday at the Brewery in Placentia, also beginning at 7. Both nights free to play and prizes for the town punting teams. Come check it out. Have some fun. If you guys don't have anything else before we head out for the evening, for world-famous juggler Greg Larson and Flesh Wound producer Todd Loya, I'm Ozzy V, and we'll see you next week right here on a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Farce.